Listen to this. New construction, once again, sells over 30% of all existing home sales. What is happening in the fourth quarter of 2023? We had over 31% of all homes sold being new construction. Let's go into why that is. Why are people buying new construction? Aren't new homes the highest price that you can pay for a home? Like, there's no discounts in them? And if that's the case, which it usually is, why would you decide to buy a new construction home? Let's talk about it. Look, with 31.8% of all homes being new construction in the fourth quarter of 2023, it is only 0.1% less than the year before that, in the fourth quarter of 2022, where it was 31.9. So as you can tell, there's a lot of people buying new construction. And this article gives us a couple of reasons why that's happening, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on that. You know, first thing is they say that new construction has increased, that there's a lot of homes coming on the market because they started, like a year ago, year and a half ago, and the home builders didn't think that the interest rates would go up so high. So they started building. And at the end of the day, they have a whole bunch of homes to sell. And this is the highest, or actually last year was the highest. This fourth quarter was the second highest in the recorded history of the percentage of homes being sold being new construction. So this is an unusually large number that people are choosing to buy new construction homes versus the old homes with maybe a little more character. They do make a good point. They said that during the pandemic, there was a surge of home buyers that just came out of nowhere, and the demand increased much faster than the supply was able to. And that is true. We had so many people buying homes and selling homes and so on. And new construction, they actually ran into a problem where they started limiting the number of homes that they're able to sell. So, their salespeople suffered because they were limited to 1 or 2 sales a month. And it's really hard to live off of that kind of income. But what did they do in response? They basically pulled more permits and started building faster. And then they started selling, and everything was good for like a year, maybe 2 years. And then it started catching up with them, where the demand started slowing and going down quite drastically. Mostly because of the interest rates having doubled in like 18 months. So now all the builders have all this inventory and they're able to sell it at a better discount or a better interest rate. So let me give you my thoughts on this. Here's what builders are doing. They're really smart. They're able to buy down the interest rate quite significantly. So you are able to purchase a home that is much more expensive, brand new, beautiful, never used, and you end up paying the same monthly payment than you would on a home that's not as nice and has some deferred maintenance and some wear and tear and maybe not a perfect little cookie cutter neighborhood. Now, the second reason is that there are less resale homeowners putting their homes on the market. After interest rates skyrocketed, a lot of people who were thinking about selling chose not to sell. And the main reason is a financial reason. So when they started looking at their options, they saw like, hey, we have a 4% interest rate, our payment is $3,000 a month. And if we sell this home and go into an equivalent valued home immediately without letting any time go by, what's going to happen is our payment's going to go up quite significantly because the interest rates went up double. All right, I just made it to the beach on Longboat Key. So let's resume here. The sellers basically are just staying put. There's just a lot less inventory out on the market. The home sellers just say, I'm not trading my 3% interest rate for a 7% interest rate. But the buyers, they know this. So what are they doing? They're going and seeing to negotiate the prices lower. And unfortunately, people aren't really budging. The list price to sales price ratio is about 97% nationally. So things are not moving down in price. And that is where the home builders, the new construction builders, have this huge upper hand, and they're able to offer amazing discounts on your interest rate. Where if you go to a resale home, you're going to pay 7%, and some of these companies are offering 5.25%. How can you compete? You're literally going to have a payment of principal and interest about 20-30% lower. So therefore, you can afford to buy a home that is so much nicer than the one on the resale market. And the funny thing is that these builders kind of don't have to lower their prices because of that. So they're not lowering their prices. The sellers aren't lowering their prices because there's not enough of them. And at the end of the day, what sells? Well, the new construction with a 5.25% interest rate. There's a community in Venice that I know of, and they have a 5.875% interest rate. It's truly spectacular what interest rate you can get from a new construction builder when you compare to just going to get a loan from your bank or a mortgage loan off